You got any weapons, Mom?
No.
You better not.
Just my mouth.
Okay,
Can you
good.
bring
Oh my. No. How do you feel about this, bro? How do you feel about this, Mom? There it is. Boom. That's X-Joy. That's where the money's at.
Tapi push it further to see.
Oh, right here. Oh my God. Yes, the tables have. Here we go. The tables have turned. Three. So I missed week number 2. So this is really week number 3 combined with week number 2. Last week we went to Texas to go see my little brother wrestle. It was his second wrestling show, and he actually had some ring time, so it was actually really cool. The whole family was there. My dad and my sister manned his booth for all his merchandise, and the rest of us sat in the audience, and so it was really cool. I got to bounce backstage with all of the other wrestlers, got to see the whole behind the scenes setup, got to chill with the promoter, and then went out with my brother and a couple of his buddies that wrestle afterwards. Really, really cool and really interesting. Very cool to see those guys follow their passion. My brother's a cop by day and a wrestler by night. Either way, he's cracking skulls. So it's pretty cool to go do that and just hang out with the family. Short week. So had a lot of great stuff going on last week. Actually, last week, I collected my check for the Northwestern Mutual Speaking Engagement this week, which was pretty cool. And what's been going on? Really cool. That was a $250 speaking engagement for 20 minutes. And around the 15th of the month or so, I guess it really wasn't around the 15th, maybe a little bit later. My wife reminded me that we got our last paycheck from corporate, and I remember just saying, man, wouldn't it be kind of cool if the universe just sprinkled in a little bit of goodness to us? And sure enough, the very next day, I was having a conversation with one of my coaching clients. It was his last coaching call with me, and he literally said, hey man, you know, what if I just drove to Milwaukee and we spent a half day together, we do some more breath work and meditation, we maybe unpack a couple things, you give me a framework, then we do a couple calls afterwards, and maybe I'll pay you like $1,500, $2,000. And so I told him to just go ahead and write up the proposal and send it to me. And initially I was thinking, okay, you'll write the proposal, you'll build in the lockout specs, and you've already committed to $1,500, $2,000, so my job is only to upsell you a little bit more. And as I went through that framework, I recognized that that was coming from a place of fear. That was the old dial-in, trying to lock in on closing the deal and upselling and controlling the specs and controlling the RFP and all those great, cool things that it made me so successful in my old life. And what I realized was that was coming from a place of fear and scarcity. And if I was coming from a place of love, I would recognize that the universe just gave me this cool little sprinkle of goodness when I simply just asked for it. Wouldn't it be cool if, I booked a little bit of revenue for the end of the month and the universe simply delivered? I didn't have to put out a funnel, I didn't have to put out an ad, I didn't have to go asking for business, it literally just came to me. And that just reminds me that whatever it is that we put out, and when we work on simply removing the resistance from within, the without is just exactly the way that we dictate it. And that was just another powerful example of how the universe has just unfolded and will continue to unfold, and it can for each and every one of us. And so it was also a great lesson in releasing the scarcity and releasing the fear, and just recognizing even more so that I'm always taken care of, I'm always provided for. So that was a great lesson, and I booked the revenue today. So we've got one more day left in the month, and I've booked $1,750. We might go celebrate at Carrabba's this weekend, and I may actually get the $20 bottle of Wicker Basket Chianti, because we've got a first month, and I'm pretty excited about it. The Northwestern Mutual speaking event, that was off the chain. Literally, my contact was texting me afterwards saying, your name's already circulating. The leaders in the room were already committing to bring me back, but probably the coolest part of it is someone walked up to me afterwards and said, I can tell that you've done a lot of inner child healing. And even though I was speaking about career development, I still was able to get that core message of deep inner love over and across to the audience. And that's just my mission, that's just my goal for each and every one of us, to just recognize that we are love. And out of love, we can literally build anything. And so that was another great highlight of this week. I realized that I just jumped in from last week into this week, but it is what it is. I went to a networking event also this week, which was pretty cool and interesting. Number one, I hate those things. They're just like legitimately an ego fest. Everyone wants to show up and everyone wants to regurgitate and vomit their shit on you. Plain and simple. And at the end of the day, it's just a big energy drain for me. It really is. And so what I've recognized is that I can still have fun. Certainly I was there to support my friends that put it on. I had a couple of friends that were there in the audience, and it was really great to connect with them. It was really great to spend some quality time with them. But overall, just the amount of people that show up and just want to just bombard you with their story and, you know, proving themselves to you. And so it's just wow, 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 wow. And just, that's not me. What I've learned is I've got to have better boundaries. Especially if I'm speaking to someone and someone walks up and interrupts. You know how those people are. They don't even think about it consciously. They just literally walk up and they're so excited to speak to you or so excited to engage that they just literally step over the conversation. And that's my fault for allowing that to happen, because I didn't set a boundary, and I could have literally said, hey bro, I love you and appreciate you, but I'm in the middle of a dialogue right now and I'd like to commit to it. I'd like to stay connected to it, and I'd love to connect with you later. Simple. The other thing I've learned is that this one really bit me, that I invested over an hour with someone that's a potential client, and literally that's got to quit happening. I've got to tighten up on a vetting process to where I'm not investing as much time, and at the end of the day, if that person goes dark or if that person declines, I've got to make better use of my time for revenue generating activities. And I've got to make sure that I've got a tighter framework in place that's going to allow me to manipulate and to make better use of that time, if that makes sense. So a lot of really great lessons this week. You know, just kind of quick recap, right? My first speaking gig for the year, which was awesome. My first networking event for the year, which was awesome. And out of that networking event, which was really cool, is that I got another speaking event or another speaking gig out of that. And I'm actually going to be speaking in collaboration with my boy Andrew, and that's pretty cool, and I'm fucking pumped about that, and I'm fucking pumped for him. Like I said, the Northwestern Mutual thing literally went deep and wide. They went from an acquisition account, now it's in dev, and the goal is to literally get them into retention. And I set the intention that I'm keynoting at their sales kickoff this year in July. A lot of big crazy goals. As a matter of fact, I even challenged my man Q to the race for 20 grand. So he is way ahead of me in speaking fees today, and I am literally just starting out, but a little friendly competition. So anyone else want to join in? We've got a race for 2020. For me, it's 20 speaking engagements in 2020 and ending the year at a 20 grand speaking engagement, at least one, minimum of one. And that is my new rate going forward. So Q, I challenge you, brother. Game on. What else? That's really it. That's a week in recap. It was a really good week. We got back home on Monday, so it was a short work week for me. But I've got to do a much better job of pacing myself. I kind of fell back into some old routines, some old habits of, go after taking some time off. And it's going to take maybe a little time, or it's maybe going to take one or two more times to readjust and get back into a different cadence. Like the cadence that I'm working at now. This week was a little bit off for me, but we're here, we're now, and it turned out to be a pretty good week, so I cannot complain. Like I said, got paid for my first speaking engagement, signed my coaching client for a re-sign, if you will, added some stuff to the pipeline. Really good progress on the site and the marketing and all those pieces behind the strategy of the business, which is really cool. I anticipate to have some marketing and running ads within the next 30 days. We're finalizing the website right now. That's really just a quick recap of the week. It's been phenomenal. The journey has been amazing. Shadows are popping up left and right. Old beliefs and old rules are trying to pull me back in, but I think that's just the beauty of it all, is simply recognizing that, being aware of it, and just working around it, working through it, and allowing it to not consume you, but allowing it to just give you the hindsight of where you have potential for stall in this thing, or where I have potential for stall in this business, where I have potential for stall in just my overall development. So really good week. Monetarily, it was great. I closed the month out without hitting a goose egg, which was super cool. We're going to get to celebrate, like I said. We're really going to go enjoy it, because there was a time when, when I finally got a decent commission check, that we would splurge and go to Carrabba's or go to Olive Garden or something. And I just really want to relive those days. I really want to just live in the moment of having fun and growing this thing and setting intention and just allowing it to come to me. Very different from when I went through my corporate career. My corporate career was based in fear. And even when I made good money, it was based in fear. And now I simply want to base this in love. I simply want to set the tone, set the pace, and operate out of that state. So no longer am I wanting to hold on and enjoying the ride. I'm simply surrendering, letting go, and enjoying the flow. I'm really proud of my little big brother for, fulfilling his dream. I'm really proud of myself for really going after the thing that I want in life. And my son said the other night, or last Saturday as we were driving home from my brother's wrestling match, he said, "Dad, isn't it kind of cool that you and Uncle Scott are getting famous at the same time?" And I just sat in that energy, and I really just enjoyed it. And I just enjoy the visualization and the imagination and just the feeling of that, whatever that means. But it does feel kind of cool. It does feel, it just feels really cool. One of the things that is kind of cool too is just the little bit of celebrity that I've created, specifically in the social space, and having that bleed over into the physical space, like going to this event and just having people waiting to speak to me, or having people to want to speak to me. It feels good, right? It's kind of an ego play, but I know that my message, I know that me being the channel, and I know that me being a vessel is impactful. And so it's the thing that I signed up for, and it's the thing that I love, and it's the thing that I'm having fun with. But I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of enjoy it a little bit of the celebrity that comes along with it. So, according to my son, it's pretty cool that I'm on my way of becoming famous, but he did remind me today, after I made a comment about speaking at Chick-fil-A, that if my last speaking event was Chick-fil-A, that he doesn't really know that I'm all that famous. So, let's make Dad famous.